Dan and Amy, good morning. So tonight we have the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
I'm so excited you get to see your girlfriend.
Gisele Bündchen.
Gisele Bündchen, yeah.
She's married to Mr. Tom Bündchen.
But she really is pining after you, Dan. I don't know if you know that. So when she walks the catwalk tonight, because that's what we assume is going to happen. Coming out to this. But we still don't know who's going to light the torch. It's always a big momentous occasion. Remember when Muhammad Ali lit the torch? I think it was in '96 in Atlanta. Yeah,
it's not gotten off to a great start, but I mean, could you imagine if it was in Chicago?
It would be a lot better. I don't think anybody would try and jump the torch bearer running through any Chicago neighborhoods, similar to what happened in Rio.
I don't know. Some Chicago neighborhoods, I don't know. Our murder per capita rate, I think, is approaching Rio
But
levels.
Do you think they'd run the torch through Inglewood or... I don't know.
We'll never know.
We will never know.
We've got more than 1,000 U.S. spies have been dispatched to Brazil. We've got the Brazilians losing the keys to the stadium, so having to use bolt cutters to get into one of their stadia.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not
Did
kidding.
you see the Jamaican Olympic team where they put them up? Yeah, no running water. There's dirt on the floor. Nothing's completed.
Is this like a Cool Running sequel? That's the Jamaican bobsled team. John Candy's not around for it, unfortunately.
No, but I mean, it's deplorable conditions.
And then Hope Solo's getting heckled with chants of Zika when she gets the ball. Hope Solo, of course, the U.S. women's soccer goalkeeper.
I shouldn't laugh, but they better watch it because she's a little violent.
Well, the reason that's true. But the reason she's getting heckled with the Zika chants is because she tweeted these pictures of all the bug spray that she took with her and all the Zika precautions. So
what's wrong with wanting to protect yourself? Yeah. They should be applauding that kind of
So get your off and enjoy the opening ceremony tonight. We've got other problems in Chicago, though. The Olympics ain't one.
I got 99 problems, but Olympics ain't one.
Nice Jay-Z paraphrase. We've got, a city that's functionally bankrupt and has just completed the deadliest July in 10 years this past month. And here's something for those of you at home that may run into a Chicago reporter from time to time. Mm-hmm. You may just kind of want to reinforce what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get them to kind of high school level understanding of numbers so they can provide accurate reporting on city finances. So let me give you an example. The Chicago Sun-Times yesterday, pension fix, 28% water sewer tax phased in over 4 years.
Oh, the pension fixed?
Well, this headline is much like how Voltaire described the Holy Roman Empire. It's neither holy nor Roman. This is neither a pension fix, nor is it a 28% water and sewer tax increase. 28 percentage point. But here's the thing. When you're talking about the price people will pay, there's this concept that most of us learned, I don't know, the later years in elementary school, early high school, called compound interest. So the 7 percentage point increase in your water sewer tax this year will be compounded when they impose another 7 percentage point increase on what you pay this year, next year. You see what I'm saying?
So
and then it compounds, and it compounds again. So it turns out to be a multiple of 28% in terms of your out-of-pocket over the next 4 years.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be, $252 in 7 years?
What?
More a year than we're paying now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's over 28 percentage points over 4 years that compounds. It's going to be your water bill at the end of this tax increase where the city council to approve it will be a multiple of the 20. It'll be, probably a 60% plus increase in your actual out of pocket. In addition to your property tax spikes to this year, more coming, because this doesn't shore up anything. It's no pension fix.
Garbage tax, too.
Well,
and it goes on and on and on.
Why don't we talk to one of the new members of the city council? May not be so stale in his thinking because he hasn't been there long enough. He is Anthony Napolitano. He's the alderman of 41st Ward up there on the northwest side. Anthony, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I apologize if it gets loud every minute and 5 seconds. Just a plane going over my house.
Yeah, no problem.
So you live in the zone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So you were a firefighter before you were elected alderman. How is it going, the transition from being a first responder to people in crisis to being a first responder to a city in financial distress?
You know what? It was a shaky start at first because there's no cliff note and there's no manual on how to be an alderman. It's just, hey, throw them in the fire and get started. And I really didn't get much help from the last office, so we had to start fresh and start new. But you know what? It's going awesome now. It's going from one crisis to the next, and it hasn't stopped since we got into office.
Well, what do you think about Tiny Dancer's big tax on water and sewer services?
You know, before I even got back from that briefing, I was already getting phone calls and emails from the residents in this ward, and it's to the point where they're like, "When do we stop going to the well? When do we stop fixing all of our problems just with taxation? How come we're not coming up with different revenue ideas?" And that's the point that's pretty much driving our office crazy and the rest of this ward.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's not much left to tax.
There isn't much left to tax, and you know, before we came out with this historical property tax in the last budget, we were brought in a room and everybody was supposed to come up with different ideas, and there was a gazillion of beautiful ideas that came through this office. One of them being, why don't we lift the ordinance on video gaming? I mean, we could bring in a lot of money into this city, and it's as easy as going into a city council and generating a new ordinance that raises that ban. And why aren't we coming up with ideas instead of hurting the taxpayers constantly day after day?
In that brainstorming session, did anybody come up with ideas on the spending side, like reducing it and restructuring city government, public sector pensions, and the like?
Absolutely. One of the big things that we've been pushing for is do a citywide audit, start looking at how we're spending and start reeling it back in a little bit. I think we have to do that first and foremost. It's getting to the point where we're spending. It's like giving money to my kid. He spends it, and then goes back to his pocket and wants to spend more and realizes he doesn't have any. So then he comes back to me and says, "Hey, Dad, give me more money."
Well, Tiny Dancer, he characterized this as the responsible thing to do. I mean, this was the courage to tax. This was, heroically not increasing your property taxes, but doing the Lord's work by imposing an increase on this regressive tax of water and sewer. How does that square in the bungalow belt there in the 41st Ward? Where are you going to be on this?
I think everybody kind of gets the concept behind it. They understand we have to fix the looming problem that's just not going to go away. That's understandable. But at the same time, you just dropped the historical property tax. Now you're looking to drop this utility tax. We're not even talking about the tax that's probably going to be brought up for the CPS that City Council is not even going to vote on. And then we're doing this all hopefully in September, which says, well, we're not even budget yet, so what's coming in budget? So it doesn't sit well here at all. I got people come up to me day after day saying, "Ant, you know what? See you later, buddy. We're taking off. We're leaving. Instead of doing the 29 in a day like the most city workers do, I'm leaving at 22. We're getting out. We're going to a different county as well."
Wow. Now, you're talking about opposing the high property tax increases that we just are going through right now, and all of us are paying our property tax bills. Did your property taxes go up or did they go down? Because I know 18 of the 50 aldermen, their property taxes stayed the same. In 7 of them, they decreased.
Well, I did what we all should be doing. I had my property tax assessed. We ran about 8 to 10 different seminars where the Cook County assessors came out and checked out your property tax and assessed them before this. Mine went down a little bit. I've held these seminars left and right. I encourage everyone to do it. But when this is over, eventually they're going to reassess and they're going to go back up again. So I encourage everybody to have their property. We're doing one Monday
to appeal your property taxes.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I want to go back to this utility tax because it's supposed to generate like $240 million over 5 years. It's being touted as a pension fix. $240 million over 5 years. The pension fix that needs to be fixed is an $18.6 billion hole. So when does there a move on Tiny Dancer to and frankly for the city council to be part of that lift to do complete rethinking of a city government that is not financeable in its current form?
I kind of when I went in the last budget, we sat down and we were told that, and I apologize to get off the topic a little bit, but the last budget when I sat down, it was my first budget, said, "Hey, Anthony, this is going to fix the police and fire pension. You need to vote for it. You were the police. You were a fireman as well. It's going to fix the pension. And we started crunching these numbers and saying, well, these numbers aren't going to fix the pension. Exactly what you just said. It's just going to, what we were touted as not kicking the can down the street. It's exactly what it was doing. And we looked at it, the numbers, and the city came up short, and the state wasn't even behind it. So we're signing paperwork introducing property taxes that are supposed to fix problems that aren't even coming close to fix them because the problems are so big. We're not coming up with any new revenue-generating ideas. And I don't get it. I sit down there and I look around going, what is going on here? We're talking about not kicking the can down the street anymore, but that's exactly what we're doing. I really do believe, like you mentioned in the beginning of this talk, that we need a citywide audit. We got to start reeling back where we're spending our funds. We need to start saying to people, we got these big companies coming in. We're selling property for $1 for them to come in. Yeah, I get it. They're gonna generate business and they're gonna create jobs. But at the same time, you're using land in the city of Chicago. Let's make a little bit of a profit off it, as well as put it back into our pension funds. Where's the casino? Where's this big casino we were supposed to be building that's going to help out? Everything just disappears. We go back to the taxpayer.
As somebody who was, as I mentioned, you mentioned police and fire. I just mentioned fire, but also police before becoming an alderman. Where are first responders right now with respect to Mayor Manuel?
Hello?
Yeah, Anthony? Hello?
I think I lost you.
Oh.
Can you hear us?
This is turning into a Verizon commercial. Yeah. Can you hear me now? No. Oh, well.
Sorry.
I wanted to know how police and fire are responding to. I'm going to ask you now.
What?
You're
I sat down with an engine, 78 the other day? Go ahead.
Amy Jacobson is a resident of Lakeview who was a police officer and a firefighter before you became a resident of Lakeview. How do you think first responders are reacting to Tiny Dancer 6 years into his reign?
He is not loved. And I'll tell you, all the firefighters that I know, they've all been scared that they're going to be skipped out on their pensions, that the pensions just one day the checks are not going to come anymore.
All right.
But now get a real answer.
Let's see if that squares with the alderman. Alderman Napolitano, are you back with us?
Yes, sir. Sorry,
okay.
I think we got disconnected.
No problem. I was just asking Amy Jacobson, who plays a firefighter and police officer on this show, but go to somebody who actually was one. Where do you think first responders are with respect to Rahm Emanuel right now? I mean, have they realized that this is not the future of Chicago, this mayor?
Yeah, all I talk to is this whole ward is police, fire, and city workers. The vast majority of independents as well. And you talk to the police officer, you talk to firemen, and they just don't feel there's that city camaraderie anymore. They don't feel like they're being backed. They're told to go out to do the Lord's work in a city with the highest crime rate in the country. And while you're in it, just don't do anything wrong because we're not going to back you. And that's the feeling that every one of them has. The fire department as well. And they're worried that they're going to do something wrong and lose their job. And at the end of the day, they're doing this work to possibly not have a pension someday. It just, it's how are we going to get more people to join on to this job? I mean, look at the police department. We're low on police officers already. Just last weekend in the 16th district, a 34 square mile district, I had 6 police cars up and running. People aren't reading the writing on the wall. Something's not right here. Where are all our police? We're not hiring more. Who's going to be paying into that pension?
All right.
If we don't hire more police officers and firemen, how are they going to fix this pension as well?
All right. He is 41st Ward Alderman Anthony Napolitano. Anthony, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the